Okay, that's better. That feels better. I'm under my blue blanket again. I was having my breakfast in bed with my laptop beside my bed on
Uh,
a table, and then I had a tray like a one of those breakfast tables that you put over top of you to eat a plate and bread in bed. So um, I'll go into the time thing a bit more again. If you were immersed in the ocean, literally out in the middle of the ocean, and you couldn't see even any land in any direction, no islands, no, you couldn't see the UK, you couldn't see Europe or Africa or North America, South America. You were just right in the middle out there somewhere. And you just dove down. And let's say you could breathe underwater, whether you had assistance or magical ability or whatever the case may be, but you're surrounded by water. You could do a 360. You're underwater, so there's water below you, there's water above your head, there's water in all directions, and it's fluid because water is fluid. Water can move, water has currents. That's how I view time. Instead of the straight line is the linear was what they taught us, past, present, future. And you can just draw that on a piece of paper and they go, there you go, that's time. I don't think it is that way at all. I think they lied to us about time. I do think that it is fake. Okay, it's a creation, or as Jason from Archaics, I don't know if you ever heard his voice other than my voice impressions, but he says uh, construct. It's a construct. He's got this weird voice that
Pretty
sounds like a
voice.
cartoon character. It's horrible. But anyway, yeah, that's. I think it is false, and I think time is fluid, and we're immersed in it in this realm. Doesn't mean everywhere, but I think it's used here to control us as much or more so than money. Because when you think about it, time is the way that a lot of things are measured here, not just the hourly wage, but our lifetime. Our lifetime. Time is right in the word lifetime, right? It's lifetime. Time is right in there. And time really does matter in so many ways here with schedules and alarm clocks, and everything is basically measured by time, our age, birthdays, you name it, stages of life from newborn to toddler to child, adolescent, teenager, at adulthood, maturity. It's all like measured in these years and time. So time really is a control mechanism here, as much as money is, as much as religion is. And a lot of people really don't think about, oh, time really does control our lives within this place. But it does. And a lot of people just don't think about it. They just there's people that have had watches their whole life and they don't think about time. They never stop to wonder about time and they've always worn a watch, or they've always had these antique clock collections. I've known people like this that have tons of antique clocks and they never seem to wonder what is time. They're surrounded by things that show them what time it is, but they don't ponder what is time. And I think that outside of here, even in the void, which is not outside of the matrix, I want to emphasize that for everyone. Lolita and some other channels claim that that's home free, and it really isn't. It's between this level and the next level. It's the in between realm, you could say, is the void. It's a space between levels within this matrix. There might be more than one void in this. There might be 100. There might be 1,000. I don't know. It could all be one void. I don't know for sure. I don't think anyone knows that. But just in that void, it's timeless, according to anybody that's ever been there and felt it. It is timeless, or near timeless, as near as possible, where they don't seem to feel any time passing. So, what I'm getting at is going on that data that we have, I think that there's a huge possibility outside of this matrix that we're in, this hell realm matrix, that it's timeless and that we are eternal. And once you really grasp that we're eternal, it makes far more sense than popping out of nothing and being born as a spirit, not as a body, but as a spirit out of nothing. It makes more sense that we always were, always will be, and nothing can destroy us. And this is where some people get hung up thinking, well, how could they, quote, trap us or get us in here? It doesn't mean that we're impossible to trick. These other entities might be, I do believe that they are masters of illusion. I think that's their main power against us, is illusion. Just like in some of those videos that I analyzed, Star Trek, they show us truth hidden in fiction quite often. It's hidden in plain sight. And I think that's what these entities are. They're masters of illusions, but it doesn't mean that they're all powerful. And these other, quote, truthers that say, oh, we're going to become gods, I think we'll have superpowers far beyond what we have here. But I'll never call myself a quote unquote God, not just because the word is tainted with the evil that people worship this quote God of this realm, but because I don't think I am. I think I am an eternal spirit, but I'm not going to say that I'm a quote God. I don't want power over others. I want freedom for myself. I want freedom for good spirits, not just for me, but for any good that I can help get out of here. But I don't want power and control over others. I'm not a control freak. I'm not a power person. I do exercise power over evil demons. Absolutely. I fight them here, and I will fight them outside of here for sure. And they know that already. Not just the low-level demons on YouTube. Other demons, we'll say maybe higher demons, or you could describe them as. They know that already, that I will be fighting them. They're not stupid. These demons beyond YouTube are smarter than the ones on YouTube. They're aware. They have higher awareness of what's going to happen. They're not fools. They do understand that I'm not just letting this go when I leave this place, because I can't just let that go. I don't want children growing up in this fucked up place and suffering as much as I did or worse in my lifetime. I don't want that. I don't want this to continue with these disabled children and ones that are dying in childhood and have these horrendous genetic disorders that are not their fault, and everything else that goes on here, child abuse and disabilities and deformed children. Imagine living with some of these horrible deformities where their face just looks like a monster almost. I'm not faulting them. I'm not calling them ugly. I'm not being mean and all the things that Team Evil will accuse me of. I'm just saying they look like something out of a movie set. And that's the quote creation of this God. That's their God's plan. People that believe in God and worship in these religious people. It's sickening what is going on here. I think they would be defending that monster if we were all crawling around on broken knees, crippled and missing limbs, and all of us either blind or born without tongues or born without whatever. I mean, without eyeballs or all sorts. Like, this God is a monster. I don't know how much clearer it has to be to people, but I do think that some people are so spiritually blind that nothing I could say or show them will get through to them. Just nothing. I think that people have to be at a certain level and a certain spiritual, they have to be a certain spirit type or species and at a certain level to even understand the language that I'm speaking, because they don't want to look at what's going on. And I just can't allow this to continue. I can't do it. I know it has to be stopped, and that is the moral thing to do, is to do whatever I can once I'm outside of here and get my memories back, my powers back, my abilities. And, I'm not restricted in this human meat suit, which has a governor on it, to do what I have to do, and it has to be done. Because I think this would go on forever if nobody ends it. That's what I think. They would do this forever. There's no set closing time or ending for this. So that's my perspective.
I agree, and what you've just said, that would make a really good, if you could snip that out and have it as a standalone somewhere so that more people can hear that, so it doesn't get lost in, like hours of time, Stephen. Anyone's listening, you could make a note of the time now so we could find it and have it as a little video somewhere standalone, because that's so empowering as well. And this morning when you were showing the video of that little girl and the design of how people are born that way, I kept thinking, if you were in an office and you designed that, you would lose your job straight away, because that how could a creator of somewhere allow that to continue again and again? If it did happen once as a mistake, you would, if you had a conscience and a good heart and kindness and all the goodness, you would ensure it never ever happened again. Not if 600 FOP children around the world. It's just the whole realm is just so corrupt, and there's no sign of it ever improving or fixing. There's just too many things about it that cannot ever be changed or fixed, and much easier to start from scratch.
Yes, that's a good idea to clip that. I did jot down the time. It was 3 hours, 33 minutes.
Oh, the magical.
By coincidence. So it's a triple 33. So
Yes.
triple 3 is perfect, but
Wonderful.
that's a good idea. For some reason, when you're on here, I tend to, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the energy from you or something, but I tend to be able to do that when I'm talking with you, to describe things in a concise way, summarize a thought that way. Just, it's happened before, so
it brings
I do remember it.
I must be the muse in the harem.
You're bringing up the best of me, Wendy. So
we all
you have some.
We all have different abilities, so it's not compulsory for everyone to do. But I'm joking. I'm
yes,
sorry.
we all have different abilities. I mean, that's happened before with you. I recall where that happened. Okay, I'm going to jump in here. This is me talking again, but I'm jumping in while making this recording of this video. These are my thoughts after the live stream. In other words, it's not live with Wendy. I'm speaking later on, okay? And yes, thank you, Wendy. You really do inspire me. When we are chatting, I tend to have not just an idea, but a way of summarizing my thoughts in that way about things that I've been thinking about for years, and it just pours out of me during a live stream. So thank you. Thank you for the idea to jot down the time and snip this out, and that's why I'm doing this. Right now I'm recording from my live stream. Break On Through is the name of the live stream, and it was just before 3 hours, 33 minutes I recorded, and by the time I was ending, it had just gone by, and that was a good marker. It was the 333, and I do think this might be a good way to reach people. I do hope that people watch the whole live stream, but if they don't, at least they can watch this highlight from it, you could say, where I was able to put my thoughts together in a fairly concise way. And I really, it is strange, but well, it's strange, but it's beautifully strange when you could be inspired by someone, by their voice, their energy, them being on. You get into a calm state of mind. You can express yourself, and just something about them, and them mentioning about earlier in another live stream I had spoken about time being fluid and viewing it as an ocean rather than the straight line linear, and it just poured out of me. And I do think that I expressed it during that live stream very well, in a way that I feel not necessarily proud of, but satisfied with, that I think could help people. So thank you very much, Wendy, for the idea to snip this, and for the inspiration, just your energy, something about you. It's very relaxing, and I'm able to do that then in a way that I don't know how to describe it, in a way that just isn't that easy to do, I guess I could say. Sometimes I can do it speaking, sometimes I can do it on videos or live streams, but sometimes I can't. Because I'd like to... Anyway, I think it worked out well, and I think this will turn out to be a nice little video, a nice concise snippet from that live stream. And hopefully people enjoy this and get something out of it, and perhaps ponder time being fluid in the way I described it, and just picture yourself that way, surrounded by water, fluid currents, the currents of time, and think, oh, okay, now I kind of understand with reincarnation, you could come back here at any point in time. It doesn't have to be a succession of lifetimes, past, present, future. I could, not me, I'm not coming back. Someone else could come back, get recycled, and it could be 1850 when they just passed away in 2024. Or it could be the year 1700, or the year 1500, or the year whatever, 2000 BC. That's the way I view it. I think it could be all over the place that way, because it's all directions. It's not a straight line. Because time itself is a false construct, and it's contained within here, and this is a matrix. So yes, it would make sense that they could be able to do that, have people's lifetimes all over the place. Last lifetime could be in the future. The next could be in the past. If that makes sense. All directions is what I'm kind of getting at, if that makes sense. Happened, and you said one other time, and I forgot to write down the time or what video, but you said, oh, that would make a good clip to clip that part out. And I remember you saying something previous time when you were speaking live with me.
And I know Louise could have asked you the same question that I just asked you, Stephen. So Louise, you're going to love this segment. Yeah. So
yeah, I hope she does watch this segment and enjoys it, gets something out of it. Oh, when you just said about work, you would be fired. I mean, exactly. It's so horrendously done, so flawed, the design, top to bottom. I mean, it's not just one thing. That's why there's people that they look so delusional, and it's not me being self-aggrandizing or egotistical. I'm not hyping myself up, but it is so obvious at this point. It just is, where this place is not only flawed. Being flawed would be one thing, but it's designed to cause so much suffering and be horrendous, where I cringe sometimes seeing what people are going through here. It hurts my heart to see it. It literally pains my mind and my heart. And sometimes I have nightmares about it, where it's not about me going through shit. It's watching and seeing what's happening here.
That's something different about you as well. You haven't put your blinkers on to cut out all the hardship going on for other people. You actually see all the suffering going on in so many places and areas. And my eyes have been like exploded open. You can actually sense it inside your body physically, and I think Marcella might call it like the womb energy, where you can feel or sensate it inside, the heartbreaking, the agony, and there's just so much going on, and this is why we have to find the humor, find the laughter, find the goodness as well, but you have to see both, and you have to look at what's ugly and what's evil, because when we get out of here, there's going to be the shouting and screaming and the battle sounds, the really ugly, disgusting shapes and creatures that we've seen in sci-fi movies and things, big and for real. But we have to know that we'll have our powers back, and size isn't going to make a difference there, not being rude or anything. But whatever we are when we get out, we'll have so much more power that they might have an illusion of being like a kilometer high or 2 miles high creature, and we might appear to be smaller physically in front of them, but the power inside that we're going to be able to do so much more when we get out. And I can almost hear Manny speaking in my head now, because he's spoken about some of these things before as well. So when we do get out, we will be able to do so much more. And there's a big part of me looking forward to going back into battle, because where we are now is just one stop. There's other places that might need helping, and there's going to be things ahead. So we are preparing now, getting our strength now, and also in some sense it's like a network of spirits, good spirits, like an internet, or what was the network you used to have inside a building that didn't go to the big wide world? There was another word for it, I forget. but it's almost
Oh,
like
local area network, a LAN
the
network,
LAN.
LAN.
That's
Yeah.
the word. It's like we're spirits connecting in a LAN, and I can feel that energy flowing in the calls between the good spirits when we're all together. It's like an electric tingling, or someone pouring ice water on you. It's a physical sensation that I can feel when there's a certain connection happening. It's like a real it really is. And that like land connection, I think that's something that's happening here now, Stephen. And it sounds completely like kookaburra crazy, but I definitely sense it inside my, like inside my meat suit. So I find that
The
exciting.
audience is listening and saying, see, the
Oh,
ladies really do love El Diablo, that
we do.
tingling feeling and everything.
We tingle all over.
He's giving them the tingles all over their
Oh,
bodies, you
it's
know.
true. Oh, it's true. We definitely tingle.
So I think we that's a good way of expressing it though. The LAN, we have like a private LAN where we have it passworded and we haven't forgotten our password. So
Yes.
Keith,
Oh,
you're doing it
oh
wrong,
boy.
Keith. If you're
Yeah.
you're on Team Evil, you're stumbling like a stooge,
Oh,
like a fool. But
oh.
I gotta tease him. I mean, he's got a real thin skin. He can't take it. I'll
Oh, he's
send you
not
a
going to
care
take it
package,
when we
Keith.
get out of
You
here.
know, I love teasing these demons, and I've said it. I've admitted to it for
Oh,
years. I've said I
yeah.
love teasing the demons. I really do.
Oh,
I love it, and I would say this to people that if you're picturing what Wendy said, they probably will look that way. Horrific creatures. They'll look horrible. They'll look disgusting. They will look like demonic Hollywood type or worse creatures. Demons, entities, demons. A lot of them will look like just stinky, filthy, disgusting. Some might try to appear to be a kilometer tall or whatever. But you know what? This is the attitude I want you to go into it with is not just be fearless, but know that before you leave this body, know in your heart and your mind and your spirit and your being that you are eternal. They can't really hurt you. They can try to trick you, but they can't really hurt you. You are a powerful, magical, eternal being. If you're any type of spirit like mine, you don't have to be identical. We might even be different species. But of course, if you're on the side of good, then I stand with you and you can stand beside me. If maybe we are the same species, I haven't determined that yet. Maybe all the ones that I'm closest to here might be the same spiritual species as me, where they're more like family than my human family ever was. That's a possibility for sure that I have thought of. But if they're way bigger, taller, whatever, I would be standing there laughing because I know they can't hurt me. I know I can slay them. And I know it in this realm. And I don't even have all these capabilities, the spiritual ones. I'm in a physical body here in a physical realm, limited with a governor on my brain and body. But I know they can't hurt me here. They can't do to me what they wish they could do. And look at how many I've been taking on. Look at the clips that I've been playing, showing all just on YouTube. It's dozens and dozens of channels that I can go through that are against me, that I'm taking on and exposing. Me versus I'm not part of any of them. I don't have any. I'm not part of their club, and I've made no secret that I'm against all of them, and I'm not afraid of all of them. Like I've said many times, I remember Orphan Annie. I knew there was something wrong with her months ago when she kept saying that we're outnumbered. Did I ever say that I was afraid of being outnumbered by these demons on YouTube or demons in general? I've always said, send 6 million against me, the 6 million number.
yeah.
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of them at all. I could be outnumbered 6 million to 1. 6 million YouTube channels run by demons versus me. Outnumbering doesn't mean that they have more strength or power or intelligence. They don't scare me. Why would they? They have all these scare tactics. It doesn't work. They have smear campaigns and slander, and they try to do whatever they can mock me, saying, "Look at he plays with puppets." And my girlfriend encouraged me to buy more puppets. She was the one telling me, "Oh, those are hilarious." The very first videos that I made with finger puppets, she thought it was so funny me doing that stuff. And this is before I had this YouTube channel. I made these short finger puppet videos that she was laughing at and encouraging me. Just like in 2020, she thought it was hilarious when I made Zombie Apocalypse 2020 Scamdemic videos back then, short videos. Not for YouTube. I didn't have a YouTube channel. For other platforms, and just to share with friends and family for the most part. And I was just mocking the whole thing. I'm going to end it here. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this clip. Take care, and mad love to you.